So I'd say a bit of the two puddings, just a taste. So I'm going to try the bread and butter pudding first. Look at that lot. So looking rather lovely. All sorts in there, and also quite handy. The traditional didn't work that well on, feeding the Christmas cake. Good afternoon. I've been having a busy running around sort of day. I've got a very excited Rasha with me because it's treat time, isn't it, Rasha? Yes. Is that really numb? Try another one. Yes. Oh. There you go, happy dog time. We're going to take her out for a little walk shortly before there's some really heavy rain forecast to come over, although by luck we do seem to have actually missed the worst of it. Anyway, I've got a few things I'm planning to do, including making a start on some more wreath and willow weaving and things that I'll hopefully share a bit later. I've had quite a busy day actually, so I'm a bit behind with things. But we did some while ago order some local fresh lamb, and it's arrived from White House Farm, just up the road from here in, so I've forgotten what it's called now. It's literally 4 miles away. Thorpe St Peter, just up the road, Thorpe St Peter. And look at that lot. So looking rather lovely. So they sent us 15 eggs with the pack as well. There's the lamb, and then there's the leg there, some different cuts, different pieces, some offal, some chops. I'm guessing that's a bit of rib. So we did plan ahead, and we have now got a small chest freezer. So I'm going to label those all up now, obviously apart from the eggs, and put the rest in the chest freezer until we're ready to eat them. So unfortunately, Neil's just gone back, so we can't try them yet, unless I try and do some to take over to the nurseries. I'll see how I'm doing for time. I might do that, might cook some up and take them over for him. Anyway, but at the moment, freezer time. So another little job. Anyway, just some admin that I had to do, and I'm still looking for paid jobs and things like that. So don't know where the day's gone, but it's gone almost. Yeah. So yeah. I'll hopefully film a bit more later. I need to do some cooking, so we've got this new Cosori, and I've got some great ideas what I might cook in it next, which I will share with you, but that probably will be tomorrow now. Fabulous. All right, I will carry on for now. So it seems that the really heavy rainstorm has arrived. So it's just a question of sitting it out now. Anyway, just being nosy, just stuck my head out the front door just to see where the rain runs to when it's really heavy rain. And so far so good and all that. But blow me, Rash has shot out between my legs and ran down towards the road in the absolutely torrential rain, and she hates the rain. So that was really odd. I had to run back, grab some food and run out in the rain. So she did eventually come back in. But that's so strange. She's just never done that before. Really strange. Anyway, so now we're both soaking wet. Dear. Good morning. I'm slowly working through a few jobs, one of which I did last night, was shortening these curtains. So we put Neil put in an internal pole, which meant that these parts at the top were dropping a bit too low. So I put an extra stitch in, so just hold it up higher, which I think looks okay. And looks okay to me anyway. And then at the bottoms, so I got this second-hand, more fancy electric sewing machine. I obviously had a straight stitcher before, and so I thought I'd have a go at doing a blind hem on the bottom seam. So I sort of taken up the length of the curtains because they were much too long. And so that's, I don't know how well you can see that. So that's my first ever blind hem, and you can see on the back. So yeah, so I'm actually quite pleased how that's turned out. I've not actually done that before, so that's yeah. So onwards. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a bit of cooking later, but just get myself organised. Rash is waiting for a morning walk, and then we'll get on with the day. Hiya. Yeah, hiya. Anyway, I just thought I'd film a quick little bit for my Sandra Makes about, remember a few days ago with Neil, I collected a lot of willow that was being cut back anyway at the nurseries. So if anybody's ever wondering why handmade willow products are so expensive, I've been here for probably 2 or 3 hours now, and so basically stripping all the leaves off the willow that we collected. So so that's the second bag. I had a complete full bag, which has already gone in the green bin. Still got this willow left to process, and this is the stripped willow. So as you can see, it's quite time consuming. So I had a look online before I was able to get this willow. It's pretty expensive to buy, so I thought I'd have a go at doing it myself, which is fine, but it is quite, as I say, time consuming. So I think that'll be why if you do see handmade willow products, either you have to pay somebody else to do this work, or you have to do it yourself, and it takes time. So that's been kind of interesting to learn about, but obviously I'm still hoping to prepare more wreaths for around Christmas time. So that's ongoing work, so I'll sort of keep plugging away at this as I want to, but I also just want to clear the conservatory because I've got some cooking to do. So I want to show you on our new Cosori sort of a couple of traditional autumn season puddings I'm going to make, which I'll probably do tomorrow, but I need to clear the space and get everything ready to demonstrate that for you all. So that's what I've been doing today. I did pop in to meet some of the ladies that go to the local knit and natter group as well, and yeah, that was really nice to meet some new people, and starting to get properly settled into the new area as well, which is lovely. So that's what I've been up to at the moment, and I'll give you another update tomorrow, hopefully. But hopefully tonight I would like to just get this job finished and done, and then I can store the willow canes that I'm not using at the moment out in the garage safe, and just keeping a little bit back to do a demonstration of one of the wreaths, which somebody asked about as well. And then longer term, I will at some point do a crochet demonstration, but it won't be for a wee while because I've got other projects on the go. But I haven't forgotten, I will do at some point. Right, lovely. Good to see you all again. Speak soon. Good morning. The sun is out. I'm about to take Rasha for her morning walk. She's very excited because it's treat time. Isn't it, Rasha? Whoa, 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 whoa. Good girl. See, I have Rasha trained, so right, sit, wait, take. Good girl. Good girl. Right, anyway. So while Rasha's having a little treat, so what I'm going to do today is I've got a couple of things that I'm going to make in the new Cosori. So I've got one thing which is I've got some leftover bread that needs using up. It's not mouldy or anything, but it's getting a bit stale. So I'm going to make a traditional bread and butter pudding with that. And I'm also going to make an autumn lattice apple and cinnamon pie. And I'm going to try that out in the new Cosori, which I've not done before, and try and do some baking, and we'll see how that goes. Neil mentioned, why don't I get a traditional cookbook and do some of the recipes out of it? Great idea, Neil, but you're about 4 decades behind the curve. So I've had this has been my absolute Bible cookbook for literally over 40 years. There's some cracking recipes in there. It's a good housekeeping, country cooking, and you can see I've even added some of my own recipes and marked in the things like the toad in the hole that I made the other day. Was based on this recipe, and all sorts. There's some bread pudding, so that's what I'll be doing later. Beg your pardon, it won't be this recipe. I'm going to do bread and butter pudding, but I will in future do old-fashioned bread pudding, which is common in Lincolnshire area, and I used to also get it in the Cambridgeshire area, Bedfordshire area, and I do like it, but I've never made it, so I will do that at some point. And there's all sorts in there, also lots of savoury recipes, special occasions, all sorts in there, and also quite handy, the traditional, excuse the camera reflecting a bit, but cooking times, different game and birds, different cuts, and how to prepare different meats, which is actually not so common knowledge. In fact, the lamb that we just had, it tells you all the different cuts as well. I'll quarter lamb. Anyway, so lots of great cracking recipes in here. Many of which that I've made, many of which I haven't. And so I just thought I'd share that with you before I start cooking. But at the moment, Rash has been patiently waiting for her W, as we call it. So not so much Rasher, but our previous dog Sky. As soon as he said walk or walkies, he used to go absolutely mental. So we ended up going for a W just so the dogs didn't go crazy, but we still got the habit anyway. So off for a W. Okay, so I'm going to try and crack through a few jobs this morning and early afternoon that, anyway, for various reasons I've got put on the back burner. So I'm going to prepare to bottle my elderflower wine that I made in the spring. So to start that off, I've got 5 litres of water, 1 sterilising tablet. So I'll leave that to dissolve. Once that's dissolved, while that's dissolving, I'm going to wash my wine bottles and then pour the sterilising fluid into each wine bottle to sterilise, and I'll also sterilise the corks. So, and then while that's all sterilising, I'm going to get on with another couple of jobs. So the other one, I think one of the kind of viewers reminded me, thank you. It's a while since I've fed the Christmas cake. So I've made, how well it shows I don't know, but I made little holes in the top with a wooden skewer, and I've got my brandy. I think I'm going to try trickling it through the funnel, so hopefully it'll more go through the holes and not just on the top of the cake. So it will sort of soak through in time, but anyway, it's smelling very much like Christmas cake anyway, so that's on the way. And then I've also been soaking some fruits, which is actually some raisins, and this is the stale bread I mentioned, and I've got some block unsalted butter which I'm leaving out to warm, and that's going to be the basis for my bread and butter pudding. And also I'll make an egg custard with some fresh egg and a bit of milk and sugar, but I'll show you nearer the time how I do that. And then I also need to prepare some pastry for the apple lattice pie that I'm going to make as well. But anyway, that's quite a lot. Anyway, I'm going to plough through all of that. I'm going to start getting the bottles sterilising in the meantime, and keep you posted. And then so I also need to check in the Cosori recipe guidance, the cooking times for things like bread and butter pudding and apple lattice cake, apple lattice pie. Right, onwards and upwards. Right, so that's my 6 bottles, all filled to the brim. They'll need to sterilise for at least 15 minutes, and then I'll use some of the same sterilising fluid, big fly, to sterilise the corks as well, which I've also got on the side. And then the funnel idea didn't work that well on, feeding the Christmas cake. So I just opted with putting a little bit in the cap and dribbling it on, and then it will soak through eventually. So I'm sure it'll be fine. So I'm going to leave that now, put that away, and then I'm going to start on the bread and butter pudding next. Right, so next step, so I'll just show you where I've got to now. So I did find the bread and butter pudding recipe, which actually goes over the page as well. So I just had a quick reminder on proportions with the eggs and the milk and so on for the egg custard part. So I'm going to heat the correct amount of milk to go with, which is 300 mils, to go with my 2 eggs. And then when the milk's hot, I'll beat that together with the eggs and sugar, and that'll go on top of my buttered bread with a little bit of the soaked raisins underneath, and then I'll sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon and sugar on top. And then that will be ready to go in the Cosori. And I've looked at possible times. I can't find that exact recipe, but I'm going to do my best guess on that and just give it a go. Just keep checking it. And then I've also made some just very basic short crust pastry. So I like to make mine with butter, with the real deal, and I've added in an ounce of sugar because it's going to be a sweet pastry. And I'm going to let that rest a bit while I finish making the bread and butter pudding. And then when it's rested, I'll roll it out and make my apple lattice pie. Lovely, so that's pudding number 1, ready to roll. And it fits nice and snug in basket 1. And then in basket 2 in the Cosori. So this is, again, just a reminder, this is the 10 litre Cosori dual bake blaze twin fry, as well as the making the 2 smaller pickings. If you've got a big family coming, you can fit in a full big family size dish, which would take up the whole space, but I'm doing 2 smaller dishes today. Fantastic. Right, I will get on with preparing the apple lattice pudding. Right, so I'm going to roll out the pastry base first, then prepare the apple filling, and then put on the lattice top, and then I'll be ready to get baking. So I've divided a bit of pastry into about 2/3 to 1/3, maybe a little bit more because it's quite a deep dish, so maybe a little bit more than 2/3 for the base, and then the rest for the lattice top. Took a while to find the rolling. Took a while to find the rolling pin. I've not used it since I moved, but I found it. And then just a little bit of flour just to flour the board and the pin. So I'll crack on with that. Right, almost ready to bake. So I'll just show you this last little bit before I finish off the apple lattice pie. So you can see I've got the short crust pastry base underneath, and then these are I want to show you that on my face. These are cooking apples, so they're quite sweet, so I only put a little sprinkling of extra sugar, a little sprinkling of cinnamon, and a few soaked raisins. So obviously if you don't like raisins and you don't like cinnamon, you just don't put them in, but I do. And then I've just rolled out the last bit of pastry and cut it into fine strips. I'm going to lattice that over the top of my pie, and then I'm ready to cook in my Cosori, which I'm very excited about. Great, so nearly the moment of truth. So just a quick reminder, so this is the Cosori twin fry 10 litre or 2 times 5 litre basket dual blaze, and it's got 4 heaters, 6 functions. You can cook anything from 35 degrees up to 240 degrees. It's as good as a full-sized oven, spacious. There's no preheating required now, so I'm looking forward to trying that feature. A lower energy consumption, so compared to conventional oven, it'll cook 65% quicker and save 45% energy. And yeah, lots of great features. So hopefully you all saw the pretty chicken that Neil made. Let's see how these desserts turn out. So I'm just going to pause for a moment because I just need to double check the timings and temperatures. Great, so there is quite a lot of cooking guidance here, including some baked items, but not quite what I'm planning to do. So I'm going to go with a cooking temperature of 140 degrees and for 20 minutes, and then I'll check it and see how things are looking. Yeah, let's try that. Okay, so I need to plug it in, bear with me. Okay, so I'm going to power on, and I'm not using the grand zone, so okay, so that's the left side, and then we're going to match, so do the same on both sides. Temperature down to 140 times 20 minutes. And we're ready to go. Find the start button. Be here somewhere, probably there. Oh yeah. Right, sorry, but I'm in very direct sun at the moment, so sorry, it's yeah, contrast was not quite so strong. Anyway, we're there now, it's going. So I'm going to leave them baking away. Come back a while later. When I'm doing baking, I like to go by the nose test as well. So if it smells like it's nearly done, it probably is usually. Righty-ho. Exciting. Lovely. So I'm about halfway through the cooking time, and I can smell not ready done cooked, but certainly baking, an appley smells. So I'm just going to have a little peek and see how everything's looking. So there's the pause. Right, so it's looking as though probably the bread and butter, sorry, I'm juggling too many balls again. The bread and butter pudding will probably be ready before the apple lattice pie. That's okay. So I'll give them another 10 minutes and then take another look. Something smelling very good, but I don't think we're quite done yet. So that's the 20 minutes at 140 complete. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so looking good, but I'm going to just ramp up the temperature now to 180 and give it another, I think, 10 minutes. So, on. Match both sides. $180 for 10 minutes, and off we go. Oh, sorry about the flicker. While the baking's finishing, just a quick Willow update. So there's quite a lot of Willow, but it's sweating in the bag a bit, so I'll probably need to take it out while it gets dry. But anyway, it'll do for now. Okay, so by the smell, something could be ready. So I'm just going to hit pause. Have a look. Yeah, so I'd say, I don't know actually. Yeah, no. I'll take it back. I'm going to give them both the last nearly 3 minutes and check them. So the bread and butter pudding's brown on top, but it's still a little bit squishy underneath. So let's give it a wee bit longer. There we go. So it's just finished, saying cool. So I think we will be done this time. Click the power off. Let's have a look. Ooh. Everything's sizzling nicely. So I reckon they'll be just fine. So that was my first ever go at baking in the Cosori dual blaze twin fry, sorry, with basket divider, or it opens up to have the, there's a name for it, grand, oh, it'll come up in a minute. Grand zone. So grand zone is when you use the whole big area together. So say if it's doing one big pudding for a big family gathering or something, or your 2 compartments. Yeah. So how versatile is that? So the overall cooking was only about 30 minutes, which is probably I would have done more like 40 minutes in a conventional oven, and obviously smaller needs capacity. So definitely saving energy and time. Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I think Neil will still put links below if anybody's interested in finding out more about this new Cosori. As I say, quite revolutionary design now, so there's no preheating anymore. You just pop your things straight in and go. And what a wonderful cook. And I can't share the smell with you, but it smells delicious in here. It really does. Thanks so much for watching. There might be a little bit more. I still need to finish the wine bottling. So do keep watching. What was I thinking of? I'm on to the next thing, and I've not tasted what I've made yet and shared that with you. So I'll do that now. So just a quick reminder. So here it is. Cosori dual blaze twin fry, 10 litre capacity, or you can divide it into 2 5 litres. Cooks from the bottom and the top, so nice even cook, energy efficient, and you can get smart control, recipe ideas, all of that, and all these different settings, different types of cooking. So genuinely impressed with it. So I'm just going to try, oh yeah, so that I've just served up a little bit of the 2 puddings, just a taste. So I'm going to try the bread and butter pudding first. That's just right. So it's crisp on top, cooked through, but still the egg's tender underneath, just really tasty, really lovely. And then the apple pie, just got a little bit there. And try that now. Flavour's really good, pastry's lovely. The apple does taste good. It's a little bit on the chewy side because they're cooking apples, not eating apples, but the flavour's lovely. I'm really happy with that. I'd be happy to serve that to any guests, definitely. Wonderful, thanks for watching.